Hi, I'm Rebecca Upjohn. I'm a children's author, and the book of mine that I'm going to read to you from today is called The Last Loon. The Last Loon is a story about 11-year-old Evan who has to spend his Christmas holidays with his ex-con Aunt Mag in the wilderness, and he is not happy about it. And what's worse is that everyone he meets, including his new friend Cedar, is talking about a wild bird, a loon that's hanging around on the lake. Why should Evan care about a wild bird? But when the loon gets in trouble, Evan realizes he does care and he decides to help. Only he discovers that helping is a lot more dangerous and complicated than he first thought. So I'm reading to you from chapter 9 called Alone Again, and this is the point in the story where Evan decides to take action. Crash! I jerked sideways, fell off the bed, and thudded wide awake to the floor. My heart whammed in my chest. Sorry, shouted Aunt Mag from below. No harm done. Except I might be having a heart attack. I waited until my breathing returned to normal before I got up. I rubbed away the gunk that had grown in my eyes overnight and went downstairs. My aunt wore her puffy parka with the duct tape patches and a hat with ear flaps. She was loading a backpack with tools and weird-looking needles. There was a gun lying on the floor. What was she up to? Was all her talk about beauty and nature and turtles a scam? Oh, good, Evan, she smiled at me before continuing to stuff things into her pack. Listen, I have to go out to work for a couple of hours. I'm really sorry. Something urgent has come up. One of the wolves we've been studying has dropped its radio collar, and there's a big storm coming in tonight. You study wolves? I looked at the gun. Live wolves? She looked puzzled. Then she saw what I was staring at. She laughed. It's a dart gun. I always carry it in the truck. She picked it up. We're tracking a wolf pack. We need the data from the collar, and it'll be a lot harder to retrieve if it gets buried in snow. She put her pack over her shoulder. I didn't really know what she was talking about, but it sounded pretty interesting. The Spencers are just back from church, and Cedar is coming right over to take you to his place. Will you be okay for a few minutes on your own? Sure, I said. I stay by myself after school if Mom's late from work. But I have a better idea. I'll get dressed and come with you. Maybe this time the wolves would answer me. I rushed to the ladder. This was going to be great. My aunt's words stopped me halfway up. I can't take you on this trip. I'm really sorry. I looked over my shoulder at her. I could help, I said. I could hold stuff. Like the gun, I thought. I won't get in the way. She was already shaking her head. Not this time. I have to track a fair way into the bush, and it'll be hard for you to keep up. But what about all that stuff about us needing nature, I argued. I dropped back down to the floor. I mean, I could learn things, useful information about wolves and the wilderness, and I could do a project for school and teach everyone that we have to respect the earth, or it will disappear. My aunt shook her head more firmly. Sorry, she said, and before I could think of any other reasons, she rushed out the door. A few moments later, I heard her truck start. Why did grown-ups do that? When something really cool came up, something interesting, they always said you couldn't be part of it. It sucked. I kicked a pile of books lying on the floor. They flew everywhere in a satisfying mess. I spotted Aunt Meg's binoculars and suddenly remembered the loon. I raced to the window and scanned the lake. Aunt Meg was right. Most of it was frozen, just like she said it would be. Then I saw it. The loon moved slowly, way out there, with still some open water. I wanted to get a better look. I ran to the mudroom and grabbed my jacket, mitts, and hat and rushed outside. I hurried down to the dock and watched the loon through the binoculars. Everything seemed calm and normal. The loon swam around, turning its head different ways, as if it was just curious about the world. A few times it went under, but it popped right up again. I looked at the water around it. It wasn't a big space. I couldn't remember exactly how much room Aunt Mag said loons needed to take off, but it had sounded like a lot. The open water wasn't exactly what I called a lot. That was bad. The loon might look happy now, but soon it was going to be in big trouble. I took the binoculars away from my eyes. Would it hurt if you died of starvation? Would it take a long time? I didn't want to think about it. I couldn't. My chest ached. I didn't want the loon to die. That was when I got the idea. I looked back at the house, then out at the lake. I'd need a few supplies, but I knew my plan would work. I was going to rescue the loon.